everyone, and welcome back to a brand new speed build. Today I have a large modern home for you guys, and I am so excited to share this with you because it is part of a huge collab. So you already got a video this week, but you're getting another one. Surprise! I didn't say anything in my last video or anything like that, but you are getting another video, obviously, since you're watching this. But anyways, so this week or this weekend, you might have already seen a few different builds, which is part of this collab. So the collab is called the Simmering Summer Save File, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It is going to be a save file after this, or with all the builds and stuff like that, and it's very summer focused. So we are remaking the Oasis Spring world, the Solani world. I don't know why I'm saying the Solani world. Just say Solani, honestly. And Tartosa. So we are remaking all of those worlds, and there have been so many amazing builders in this collab. It is hosted by Garden Nova Sims, I think is how you say it. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that, and Create for Sims. So it's hosted by those two, and then we are a bunch of other Sims creators. I will leave a playlist down below to all the videos. It might not be here when the video is uploaded, but as soon as I get the playlist, I will link it down below. I will also link to the save file, so if you want to download it, you can. So with us redoing these worlds, we are also only using the packs that came with those worlds. So obviously base game, and then Island Living, and the My Wedding Stories game pack, and that's it. Those are the only packs in this. Well, also the free holiday pack, the free, I don't know, I never know what to call it, but if you didn't know, we have a pack that you can get for The Sims 4, which is free, and it's just like holiday items, so I doubt that most people used it in their builds. I did use it a little bit in mine. Only really I used one object, and those were the fairy lights, because if you have been here before, you will know that I have an obsession with fairy lights, and I need to use them in like every single build, and we don't have any fairy lights with the other packs that I'm using for this build, so I used some from that, but you won't see me use, I don't actually think I kept a footage of me doing that, but I do use it in the backyard. You can see them kind of in the screenshots, but anyways, yeah, I'm really excited for you guys to see this entire save file and everything. This has been in the works for a few months now, and I have been seeing like work in progress pictures and stuff like that from everyone, and all the builds look amazing, and they have done such an amazing job of hosting this collab as well. Like, it's been a really good experience. So if you guys want to, you can go and check all of the videos out and all of the posts and creations and stuff like that. And yeah, so when we were like deciding lots and stuff like that, we filled out a Google form and stuff like that, and then we were kind of assigned lots, and I don't know how this happened, but I was assigned the 50 by 50 in Oasis Springs, which is the Landgraab Mansion house. So this house is designed for the Landgraab family, which, if you somehow don't know who the Landgraabs are, which I highly doubt that you don't know them because they are a staple in The Sims 4, but if you don't know the Landgraab family, they are made up of Nancy Landgraab, Jeffrey Landgraab, and their son Malcolm. I think that's his name. I think so. And then actually Johnny Sest is also their son, but he has been disowned, and I don't even know if he's in the family tree, but that is actual like Sims lore. If you didn't know, like, that's an actual thing that happened, which is really funny. But in this house, there's then bedrooms, obviously, for Nancy and Jeffrey. They have their master bedroom, and then there's a bedroom for Malcolm. But then this house ended up being pretty big. It's not like a mansion or anything like that. When I was building this lot, I had like a couple of directions. Like, I needed it to be modern, or like I was told it needed to be modern and to have like pools and stuff like that. And obviously, since this is a 50 by 50, and the whole thing with the Landgraab family is that they are rich, like, they have money. They are maybe not the nicest people either. A lot of people hate on Nancy, which is fair, but they have a lot of money, stuff like that, and their original home is a kind of like a modern mansion. And I knew that going into this, I wasn't going to build like a huge mansion. honestly mostly because I'm not using a lot of packs, and I knew it would just not be fun for me to like build a huge modern home and only being able to use like 2 packs. Like I just knew that wouldn't be fun for me. So instead I made this lot a little bit weird, which I will talk about later. But anyways, with this house not being that big, but still being like relatively big, I was left with some other rooms that I didn't really know what to do with. So like I said, there are the 2 bedrooms for Nancy and Malcolm. Oh god, no. Nancy and Jeffrey, and one for Malcolm. But then there's also a guest bedroom, which I was imagining maybe that was like Johnny's bedroom, like Johnny's guest bedroom, and then when he was disowned it just became in like a guest bedroom, and no one would have questioned it because like this is the type of house to have a guest bedroom, you know, it makes sense. And then there also ends up being an office and a home gym, because I don't know, I felt like a home gym was fancy. So there ended up being that. But yeah, obviously though, if you want to play or like download this house and play with your own family, you can totally do that. I didn't try to make it too personalized. I don't know how to explain it. Also, with this being modern and specifically this family, I didn't put like family photos because this is not the type of family to have those. But there are like a few hints to them. Like I put some gold bars in some bookcases and stuff like that because this is the type of family to do that. I feel like mostly Nancy. Jeffrey is he's kind of a chill dude, but Nancy is not. And so I put some gold bars to kind of just represent like they're the type of people to just have gold bars laying around. And in the master bedroom there ends up being a little like makeup desk, makeup vanity situation for Nancy, because I felt like that was also something that she would have and stuff like that. And Malcolm's bedroom isn't, I don't know, it's a very like generic teen boy bedroom basically. Like you can have whoever there, and again, if you want to play with your own your own family, I was gonna say your own house. What? If you want to play with your own family in this house, you can like 100% make the guest bedroom into another bedroom, and even the gym. Like if you need another bedroom, there are plenty of rooms to become bedrooms basically. But yeah, so this house is again for the Simmering Summer save file collab, and I was awarded, I almost said, I was assigned to do this lot, which again, like I said before, I don't know how, because I'm pretty sure I filled out that I wanted a like medium to small lot, but maybe I didn't. But I don't know how I ended up here, but I did. And not gonna lie, when I found out that this was what I was going to build, I was really scared because I don't do modern. If you've been here before, you will know that modern is not maybe my strong suit. It's not something I love building. I don't mind building it, but it's not something like I gravitate towards. If I'm in the mood, I don't mind, but like it's not something I particularly like, I don't know, strive towards. Like I don't seek it out, you know. So I was honestly scared. Like when I found that out, I literally told my boyfriend. I was like, because I update him on all the Sims stuff I do, as we all know. I talk about him all the time, but basically I told him, I was like, dude, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. Like I'm scared. But then after a while, I was like, I think I have an idea and stuff like that. And in the end, obviously, this is how the build turned out, and I really like it, and I'm really proud of it. So in the end, I'm not that mad that I got this 50 by 50. But yeah, I also was very much outside my comfort zone because I never build houses that are meant to be for like existing families. Like that's not something I do, and I'm pretty sure this house would actually be in my own save file whenever I release that. But I do think that I'm going to have another family. Like I'm not going to have the Landgraabs, because in my save file the original townies are not going to be in it, and that's just a decision I have made, just because again I don't like particularly building houses for Sims that are already existing. Like it's not really my thing. So yeah, the regular townies won't be in my save file. If you didn't know that, now you do. And so I think in that I'm just gonna maybe change a few things about this build. But yeah, anyways, moving on, talking more about the build itself. Like I said before, modern, not really my strong suit, and I was going to look at reference pictures, but in the end I ended up not doing that. I kind of just went off of an idea I had in my head, and in the end I think it worked really well. And basically the idea I had was for the main house to be up a little bit on a hill, and then to have rocks kind of surrounding it, because where this lot is situated, the surrounding area is very like mountainy, rocky. It's not like a mountain, but it's like hills and there's rocks everywhere and stuff like that. So I thought it would fit in, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I'm really happy that I decided to do that, because I feel like the lots, yeah, it kind of like blends in to where I built it, I think. I don't know, at least in my opinion. But yeah, I think it ends up turning out pretty well. But yeah, the rocks I end up using are from base game, and I'm pretty sure they are from like this world, so that's also a reason they fit in, probably. And I basically just move them in place with the tool mod, which you do not have to have the tool mod installed to download this build and like have it be as it is right here. Like, if you don't have the tool mod installed and you download this build, the build will still be the exact way you see it right now. So don't worry about that. But yeah, I just moved them with the tool mod, and it took a long time, so I did edit a lot of it out, but in the end, again, I think it ends up looking pretty well. They're like, you can see them in the front and then the sides of the build and the back of the build. The back of the build is basically just like rocks. Like, we have the backyard, which has this like huge pool. It has the what's called the hot tub that we have in base game, which I know a lot of people hate. I don't mind it. I do think it was a little weird that we got it. I think it was as a Sims 20th anniversary birthday thingy. I think we got it for that, which was really weird. Like, out of all the things we got that, it was really weird. But I don't actually mind it that much, and I thought that like the Landgraabs would definitely have a hot tub in their backyard. So I put that, and then I also put a bar back there, and there also ends up being a little workout area. I did struggle a lot with the backyard because I didn't really know what to put there, because one, I'm using limited packs, and these are not limited packs that I would normally use. Like, I don't actually use Island Living a lot. It's a really good pack, but it's just not one I use in like my regular family homes a lot. And then my wedding stories I do love, and I do use it a lot normally, but like for the modern style there's not a lot, so I did rely heavily on base game for this build, to be honest. But yeah, I did struggle a little bit, but it also in the end I knew that, again, this family are not a family that are gonna have like a lot of planters and stuff like that, so I didn't put a lot of them. I did put like a couple, but I didn't put a lot of them, and they're not gonna have like kids stuff in the backyard either, so I couldn't use any of that. But again, in the end, I think it ends up working out. But basically, again, for the house itself, I had a vision of it being a little bit on a hill, and then for the house itself to be kind of boxy, which I think is just the modern style. And the shape of the house, again, completely just from my own mind. I don't know why I went with the shape I did. I don't know anything really. I just kind of went for it. But again, I do really like it in the end. I think it fits the modern style. Like, I think it is definitely modern, which not somehow, sometimes they do struggle with modern. Again, I don't know why. It's not my first, I don't know, it's not what I prefer to build. Let's just say that. But yeah, and anyways, then I also knew that I wanted there to be a garage. However, I didn't know what I wanted there to be in the garage, but I knew I wanted like a big driveway, because again, it's a rich family. They're gonna have some cars. They're gonna have some luxury cars. Don't ask me why I said it like that. But yeah, they're gonna have some like luxury cars. I used some debug ones, as always, because we don't actually have cars in the game, which is really sad, but I used some debug cars. I used one that looks like, I don't know how to explain it. It's the one that is like kind of in the front of the driveway, if that makes sense. And it looks like a really like modern kind of Tesla, but not really. And it looks just modern and weird, so I used that, and then I used a couple of other ones. But then in the garage, you won't see me furnish the inside of the garage, because I was moving the camera really weirdly because I didn't know what to do in there. But in the end, I do end up putting another car in there, so they end up having 4 cars. They're 3 people, but they have 4 cars. But I also, again, I feel like this is the type of family to have that, you know. I don't know, there's something about rich people in cars, man. I don't know why. I'm not a car person. I can appreciate cars, but I'm not really a car person. But anyways, again, so they have a few cars. And then also in the garage, I end up putting a boat, which, again, rich thing to do. okay? Just rich thing to do, to just have a boat in the garage. And then I also end up putting like some stacked sun lounges and stuff like that. Like they just store them there. I don't know why, but they just do. Also speaking of, there ends up being a lot of different like sun lounges in this house. On the exterior, there's a couple by the front, like where the pond is, because there also ends up being a pond because I was just left with a big space and I didn't really know what to do with it, so there's just a big pond. And in front of that there ends up being a couple of sun lounges and a debug umbrella from the my wedding stories game pack, which I love that umbrella. I use it all the time. And then there also ends up being some sun lounges under a pergola kind of thing by the pool. I don't know what to call it. I sized it up. It's from Island Living, and I just sized it up and then lowered it a little bit with a tool mod, and yeah, I just put some sun lounges under that. And that's also actually where I end up putting the fairy lights from the what's it called, from the free holiday pack that I was talking about earlier. That's where I end up putting those. But yeah, that's basically the exterior. Also, I decided to do something with the terrain paint that I don't normally do. Because it's in the desert, the default terrain paint is just desert. It's just, desert. I don't know what to call it. I genuinely have no idea what to call it other than that. So it's just that. But I decided that they would have grass because, again, they're rich. They have the money to just water grass all the time. But I also put 2 different like grass tones, and so I made it look like there's been a lawnmower and they're like stripes because, again, just rich people thing to do. I feel like, once again, don't know if you get what I mean, but you will see in the screenshots, and maybe when I was doing the exterior and stuff like that, you would have seen that I had those stripes. I didn't show you me doing it because it took forever as well, and I didn't want this video to be too long, so I did edit that out. But yeah, they have some like stripes in it, which again, just I feel like rich thing. Okay, just rich thing. That's what I was thinking when I was doing this. Like, what is obnoxious enough that the Landgraab family would have it? That's it. Also, for this house, because I'm doing, again, a pack limited build, like pack restricted build, and it's modern, and I feel like the 2 packs that I was able to use, they're not really that modern. So again, I had to rely heavily on base game, and because of that, I made some custom furniture pieces. Apparently I can't speak anymore, but I made some like kind of custom furniture pieces, which you will see all throughout the build. The first one you will see me do is a custom fireplace, because I really wanted there to be a fireplace, mostly because I needed something to take space. We all know that I am not good with empty spaces. I'm not good with empty spaces. Every single space has to be cluttered up, and with this house being modern, I felt like I could kind of get away with not everything being cluttered, because that's just how it is kind of with modern. But then also, I didn't want it to look empty, so I felt like a fireplace would take some space in the living room. And the living room is pretty huge, so I needed something to take space. And we have a couple of different fireplaces from base game. None of them are really that big nor modern. We have one that is kind of modern, but it's kind of small. And so I decided to make a custom fireplace, which I am not the first person to do this. I have seen so many people do this before, so I'm not taking credit for this. I don't even know who did it the first time. Like, I've seen so many different people do it at this point, and there are many, many, many different ways to do them. But basically what I did is that I took one of the fireplaces we have, and then I sized it down. And then you would have seen when I was building it, I did kind of edit out parts of me doing it because I was moving the camera so much. I was trying to figure out how to do it because it was my first time doing it. But at first I used a side table and I lowered it with the tool mod. But in the end, I ended up using some kitchen cabinets, and then I just turned them around so they're just black, because I knew I wanted the entire color scheme for this house to be kind of black and white, because, again, modern makes sense in my brain. Also, again, I feel like the Landgraabs are not ones for color that much, I think. But anyways, I have the like size down fireplaces, and then I have those 2 cabinets that, again, I flipped 180 degrees, so it's kind of the back of them, so it's kind of just black, and you can still see the fire, like the top of the fireplace above them. So if you click on those and just click like light a fire, there will be a little fire, and it looks like the fire is just coming from, I don't know, the bottom of the fireplace, and it looks, again, really modern to me. And then I put I never know what to call them because they're not chimneys, you know, the things you would put above a stove, like a fan kind of, those things. Yeah, I ended up putting two of those also in black from base game. Again, they're just very sleek and modern, so they fit very well there. And I ended up putting that above it to kind of, again, just give the fireplace feel. And then I used some logs from the debug menu, and I just stacked them beside it to kind of look like, I don't know, they would use those. But now that I'm thinking of it, the fireplace itself, it looks to be more like an electrical fireplace because there's no wood there. So I don't know why they would need wood, but there's wood if you need it. And then I also made a custom, what's called, like, coffee table in the living room. I just sized up a couple of shelves, and then I used these live edit debug. I think they're supposed to be, I was gonna say fence ends, like the end of a fence, but they're not. I just think they're like around the, I don't even know what they are. They're just like a pole, and it has some lights at the top, so I just sized them down and then used the tool mod again to lower them into the ground a little bit, and so they look like they're supporting the what's it called, the shelves. And then, speaking of shelves, I also made a couple of custom bookshelves in this house because I was really struggling, because the first floor is built on the medium wall height, which is not my favorite to build on because, once again, empty space. But then, because of that, we don't have a lot of, like, medium-sized bookcases in base game, or, like, medium wall height-sized bookcases in base game, and also, we don't have many, if any, modern bookcases. We have a couple, but they're all really small, so I decided to just make some custom ones, honestly, which, again, I just used some shelves some shelves that are from base game, again, in the black swatch. The entire theme for this is very, like, black and white and gray, and then I used these, I don't know what to call them. They look like rods. We have a few different colors of them. They're also from the, I think, the debug menu, but I don't know if it's from the regular debug menu or for the live edit menu, one of the two, and I just put them to look like the sides of a bookcase, if that makes sense. And I do that in the hallway, kind of, that is between the living room and the kitchen and stuff like that, which basically, I don't know how to, it's basically also the entryway, but I did that custom shelf there. I also do it in the office, and then also in the hallway upstairs, which you won't see me do because I did edit out the upstairs hallway, but yeah, there ends up being a couple of those. And then what else did I do? I don't know. I might have done a couple of other custom ones. I do make some custom, like, plant pots, which, again, not the first person to do this. I don't know if anyone else has done, like, the custom bookshelf and the custom, like, coffee table and stuff like that. I have no idea. I was just doing it when I was doing it. I was just thinking of stuff when I was doing it. Again, someone else has most likely done it. I just don't know who, but or when. But I know for a fact that some other people have done the plant pot thing, which is basically just, we have this lip balm lid that is also from the debug menu, and if you slice it up and then with the tool mod again, the tool mod was so handy for this. Again, you don't need to have it to be able to download this build, don't worry, but with the tool mod you rotate the lid 180 degrees so you have kind of like the opened end, and then I prefer to put like a plant pot in there to make it look like there's some dirt and stuff like that, and then you can just put any plant there. So I do that in a couple of different places within the build to just have some variety, because I didn't want to use the same exact objects like over and over again in the same space, especially because that's just not realistic. But yeah, you have to forgive me if I do use the same objects in a few places, because again, this is pack restricted. I only had so many objects to choose from, especially with this being modern as well. But yeah, I don't think there was any other like custom things that I did. I don't think so. I might have, but I don't think so. I don't know. But anyways, there's not much else to say about the house itself. Again, it's modern, so I tried to go for kind of an open floor plan. But with me using the medium wall height, I decided to use some platforms just to break it up, because I feel like it adds a little bit of dimension to the build and it helps with the wall height thing. But yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know if there's anything else. Oh, right, actually, I literally talked about this in the previous video I had, like, literally just a couple of days ago. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mal. I usually post on Fridays, one video a week, but again, this week you're getting two, because I wanted to have the other one out because it was a kind of quote-unquote showcase of the reviewer retreat kit. It was more so just me building with it for the first time, and I had already pushed that video a lot because of reasons, which I explained in that video, and I needed to have that out before like the kit kind of became irrelevant again, like before we got like the news of the new expansion pack or anything like that, which we're getting an expansion pack. And I'm excited. I'm a little bit skeptic, but I'm excited. But I needed to have that out. And then, obviously, we are all posting our videos this weekend for this collab. So you're getting 2 videos this week. But normally, this is not how it is here. But I mentioned it in my last video about the paintings I'm using. So at some points you might see me go into my saved rooms like in build mode and then pull out a couple of paintings, and those paintings are things are paintings that the Sims like in game have painted. They are not custom content. They're literally the paintings you do in game. There are several rooms on the gallery where you can download them, and there's just paintings that you can do in game. I think I did this, I want to say like at least 5+ years ago, where I just had a sim on a lot to just paint all the paintings basically, and now I use them every now and again in builds. And yeah, again, not CC, just wanted to say that if anyone thought it was not CC, don't worry, I never use CC in any of my builds, so don't worry about that. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention it. And also they came in really handy because once again, a little bit restricted when it came to this build, and so I it was really nice being able to use those paintings. Actually, now that I think of it, I also made a custom bed frame in the guest room, which you will see me do. I just rotate some vents to basically make the bed frame black because I didn't like the wood tone it had. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there was anything specifically I want to mention about the build itself. Again, the only directions I had was for it to be modern and to have pools or like a pool, and so I hope I was able to meet those demands or whatever you would call them, and I hope you guys like this build as well. I feel like it's not maybe as grand as some Landgraab Mansion renovations I've seen, or like reimaginations of Landgraab's house, but again, I was limited here with what I could do and what I could use and stuff like that. So with what I was able to work with, like with what I had to work with, I feel like it looks pretty good. I'm really proud of this build, and I really hope you guys like it as well. And I also actually made a makeover for the Landgraabs, so I will post a picture up on the screen right now of how the new Landgraabs will look in the save file, and I will upload them to the gallery if you guys want me to, because I don't know, I feel like they're cute. When I was building this, I was realizing that like the Landgraabs are gonna need a makeover when they're gonna live in this house, because again, the Landgraab family we've had since The Sims 4 was launched in 2014, which has been 10 years now, and yeah, they need a makeover. We have gotten so many new things in the game, and I feel like they're just kind of outdated, so I decided to give them a little bit makeover. I still wanted to keep the essence of them, but to just make them, I don't know, a little bit more up to date, and I feel like I was able to do that. But yeah, again, if you want me to upload them to the gallery, I will just comment and I will do that. This build will obviously be up on the gallery. My gallery ID is Sims04, if you didn't know, and the tray files will be linked down below as well. But yeah, I don't think there was anything else I wanted to mention about the builds per se. Again, thank you so much to the hosts of this collab to invite me to it. It's been really fun, and it's been amazing seeing everyone else do this. And again, when I found out that I was building this house, I was a little bit terrified, but it pushed me a little bit, and I'm really happy with it. In the end, like I was happy that I was able to be pushed to do something different for once, at least. But yeah, now I can move on to my rambles, because if you're new here, again, this is how it works. I talk about the build, and then when I'm done talking about the build, I move on to rambles, because I don't know what else to do. And I personally like watching videos that like talk to the end, and I like listening to rambles, so I just kind of projecting it onto you guys. You have no choice but to listen to my rambles. And this week is a little bit different, because like, again, I posted a video literally a couple of days ago. I recorded the voiceover a couple of days ago, and not much new has happened in my life, so I don't have a lot to talk about. My boyfriend is currently on vacation, so he hasn't even watched the last video, I think, or if he has, he hasn't told me about it yet. He will be home tomorrow, so, or actually when you're watching this, so maybe he will have some comments then, but I don't have anything from him to say, which is weird. I usually do. Again, if you're new here, my boyfriend watches my videos. He doesn't play Sims, but he's very supportive and I love him so much, but he watches my videos and then usually points out things that are just weird because he has a construction background as well, so it's always just really funny because he will like point out things that I don't care about, but he's like, that vent wouldn't work, or whatever. But yeah, he's on vacation and he doesn't have anything to say about last video, which is rude because now I don't have any content. I'm kidding, by the way. I'm also very sarcastic, so I sometimes fear that people will not understand that I'm joking about certain things, but it's fine. If you're ever unsure, just ask me in the comments and I will tell you if I was joking or if I'm serious. But yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. The new Gracie Abrams album, there we go, dropped yesterday for me, and not gonna lie, I've been having it on a repeat, like literally repeat for the past day, which for me, that means that I have it all the time on, because I listen to music 24/7. That is the only thing I listen to. Not the only thing, like I listen to podcasts and stuff like that as well, but like I always have music on. You know how you get like Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year? My hours are always above 100,000, or minutes are always above 100,000. So yeah, I love listening to music and I've been having it on repeat. I've been listening to Grace Abrams for a while now. I think since she released her EP. I always think it's her debut album. It's technically not, but this is what it feels like, that EP, which is basically an album. I've been listening to her since that came out, and seeing her just grow over the years has been incredible, and I love her music so much. And then she dropped a new album yesterday, which if you haven't listened to it, do it, honestly. Taylor Swift has a feature on it and that song slaps. It's amazing, love it. They posted some really cute videos of them like making the song and then also them extinguishing a fire, which is really funny because I also kind of lit a fire in my kitchen the other day. I didn't mean to, okay, but I did, but it's fine. It was handled. But it was really funny to watch them put out that fire because they were so calm. I would have been like insanely like, I would have just been like, I don't know what to do. Like I would have been panicking, but that's just how I am, I guess. But yeah, if you haven't listened to The Secret of Us, which is the new album, go do it, honestly. What other music I've been listening to? I don't know. I've been listening to like any music. I listen to a lot of different music. I am a Swiftie. If you didn't know, I do listen to Taylor Swift. If you hate her, I do not want to hear about it. Okay? If you put any hate about Taylor Swift in the comments, I will delete it. Not because I'm a Swiftie that is like, I can't watch any criticism of her or anything like that. Like, no, if you have actual criticism, I'm here to listen. But people hate on her just to hate on her, and it's like, if someone just tells you that their favorite artist is Drake, you're not gonna be like, oh, I hate Drake. Like, just that's not gonna be your first reaction. But for some reason, that is people's first reaction when they talk about Taylor Swift. Like, for some reason she's so polarizing and I don't understand it. But yeah, I do listen to like Taylor Swift and like pop in general, and then I listen to a lot of like indie music, like indie rock and indie pop as well, and I listen to like a bunch of other stuff. Music is a really big passion of mine, actually. I love music. So yeah, I've just been listening to the new Gracie album, listen to a lot of Chappell Roan, because of course. I'm so happy she's blowing up. I've been listening to her for maybe like, I don't know, I've been having her song Casual on my playlist for like almost a year, I think, since it came out, but I didn't listen until for the full album until she got popular now, and then now I'm obsessed. But Casual is still like my favorite song of hers. I love Casual. It's such a good song. But yeah, let me know what music do you guys listen to? Do you have any recommendations? Because I'm always down for recommendations. Also the 10th anniversary edition of Multiply by Ed Sheeran came out also yesterday, because it's been 10 years, which is insane. I remember when that album came out. That's insane. If you didn't know, I used to be a really big Ed Sheeran fan. I'm not that big anymore. Like, I still listen when it's like to his music and when it drops, but it's not like, he's not one of my favorite artists anymore, I don't think. I do like his older stuff more. I don't really particularly love the newer stuff. Although Autumn Variations was a really good album, but like, I don't know, both, not Multiply, but both, Equals and Minus, or Subtract, I guess was called, yeah, not my favorites, but that's just my personal opinion. I like more of his like acoustic stuff. But anyways, in the 10th anniversary of Multiply, which is one of my favorite albums of him, or from him, there's a new song. I think it's new. Anyways, I haven't heard it before, and it's called New York, and I really like it. I've been having that on repeat as well. It's really good. And I thought I'd heard like all his songs. Like, I used to be a huge Ed Sheeran fan. Like, it used to be a joke. It used to be a joke in my in my school, like my entire school. We all knew, and it was really funny. And yeah, but yeah, I hadn't heard that song before, and I think it's kind of new. I guess it's like kind of like Taylor's versions, you know? I think it's that, like, it's a song he wrote then but just didn't publish with the album, I think. I don't actually know. Anyways, good song. But anyways, I'm genuinely just talking about this because I don't know what to talk about. I've just been playing Sims, like, the past 2 days. I'm playing Sims. I've also been trying to like rest my arm because, again, injured arm. If you didn't watch the other video, watch that one. And it really hurts. Like, I woke up this morning and I was like, ow. But I have the next, like, I don't have work until next Thursday, so I have some time off to like heal and just do whatever I want. And then I work almost every day this summer. I think I work one weekend, but I don't work any other weekends, I think. So weekends off, but like I work otherwise. And I love my work. I'm not complaining. I love my work, but it's just nice to have like this week off and then, you know, being able to heal up my arm and stuff like that. I can still also feel like cold coming on, so if I sound a little bit weird, that is why. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what else to talk about. What did I do today? I played some Valorant with my friends. I did some like laundry and stuff like that, which I haven't done my laundry in a little bit. I've had clean clothes. I haven't had to do my laundry. But I did my laundry and I realized that like, oh, I have this shirt and I have this shirt and I have this shirt, because I keep forgetting what I have in my wardrobe, because it was in the laundry. And I was like, oh, right. Because I also got some like new clothes, like some t-shirts and stuff like that, like for summer, because it's just hot here and I normally live in like hoodies and sweatshirts. And so I needed some like new t-shirts and stuff like that, and some tank tops, because if I'm like sitting just in my room I will wear a tank top, but if I'm going out I normally won't because I'm self-conscious. But I forgot I had some of the, like the new ones, especially like I forgot I had them because I hadn't had them for a long time, so I didn't miss them per se. But yeah, I remembered that, like, oh right, that I can wear that. So that's always nice. It's like chopping. It's like shopping, but without spending the money right now, because I spent the money like, I don't know, a couple of months ago, but I just now realized I have them because I'm stupid. But yeah, what else have I been doing? Genuinely like nothing. I played Uno last night with some friends. That was really fun. I couldn't sleep. Like I went to bed at like, I think it was like 2, which, don't go to bed at 2 a.m. Don't do that. I do it all the time. I'm a night person. I just work better at night. And I went to bed at like 2 a.m. I could not sleep. Like I tried for like an hour and a half and I couldn't sleep, so I was like, screw it. Instead of just laying in bed doing nothing, I am going to go on my PC again. And then I saw that some of my friends were on, so I was like, hey, what are you guys up to? And then we ended up playing some Uno, which was really fun. I hadn't played Uno with them before, but it was really funny. It's always fun to like see how different people play Uno, because like some people, like the people I played with last night, like if because we were playing with the rule where you can swap. Like if you put down a we played Uno online obviously, but if you put down a like 0, like the cards go to the next person over, like it all like it goes in a circle. And then if you put a 7 down, you can choose whose card you want to swap in and stuff like that. So obviously you can sometimes know what cards people have, and like that group would tell everyone like what cards the other person had, so like we didn't make them win and stuff like that. And then my main group of friends, when I play Uno with them, it's very hush hush. It's very like we don't tell each other. So it was really fun to like the contrast with that. I don't mind either way. I'm just very like, I don't mind. I'm just there to have fun, so it doesn't matter for me. But yeah, it was fun. I don't know. I don't know what to talk about. How are you guys? I hope you're well. What music do you listen to? How do you play Uno? I don't know what else to talk about. Also, if you can hear any background noise, it just started raining, so you might be able to hear that. It was raining last night when I went to bed, and it's so nice because during summertime, I've talked before how I have my balcony door open, which is why you can sometimes hear like a car or something like that. And I can now hear like if there's rain, and I love that so much. When I was at my boyfriend's, he always has his window open, and obviously he lives in the UK. It rains like all the time, and so when I was there, like every night when I would go to sleep, it was so nice to just like go to sleep with my boyfriend and then also have the rain. It was just perfect. I really can't wait to go back. I will be there in a couple months, it's a few months, but yeah, I'm really excited to go again. Honestly, if anyone has done long distance or currently doing long distance or watching this, you get what I mean. Like, long distance is not fun, but me and my boyfriend, we don't mind. Like, we don't mind that much. Obviously, it's a lot more fun when we're like together IRL, but we work well on long distance as well. I think that's just because like some people don't, but some people do, and we just work well on long distance. I don't know why, but we do. I think also because like we both respect each other's space, so it's like, I don't know, we don't mind it that much. Anyways, I don't know what to talk about. I'm trying to figure out like what else to talk about. Oh yeah, hope you had a good midsummer. I talked about that in my last video. But yeah, anyways, that's basically it for this video, and I really hope you liked it. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and of course subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!